1360 WLBK. Well, it's the moment that you've been waiting for. That Pumpkin Festival parade is underway. Denise Burgess and Mark Baldwin are out there. Gonna bring you all the play-by-play today.
That's right.
Has the parade hit you yet?
Not yet, but it's just up the street here, so... And
well, you see, we have flagmen in front of us to make sure it doesn't hit us. Was that just a, what do you call, just a slip there? Or what?
Come on, Mark, we know you wanted to be on the float in that parade.
Yeah, but not that way.
In that way. But anyway, it's the 29th Annual Pumpkin Parade here in downtown Sycamore. Denise Burgess and...
Mark Baldwin here.
And, of course, Mark... the morning maniac, so to speak, here at WLBK.
I've been called worse, thank you.
And this 29th Annual Pumpkin Parade is being brought to you by Town & Country Motors, the main event, G&L Auto Repair, and...
Also State Farm, Mr. Crumb's Cookies, and Tropical Tan.
Pretty nice day out here, sunshine, a little bit on the cool side, but if you wear a jacket, you'll be great. 46 degrees right now as we look at the temp here.
If you're in the sun, you don't even really need a jacket.
No.
46 degrees sounds a lot colder than it feels right now.
Yes, it's very pleasant in the sunshine. And we want to mention some other activities that are going on today while we're waiting for the parade here to inch on up the street. Today, there are a number of concessions in the downtown area. Those run all day today, so if you have the munchies, you can check those out. Also, a carnival till later on this evening. The North Grove School Open House running until later on. Also, soup and sandwich at St. John's Lutheran Church. That's until 5 p.m. There's a flea market over at the Sycamore High School until 5 p.m. And if you need some transportation, you don't want to hassle with parking, there's a shuttle bus that runs every 15 minutes between the high school and the downtown. Also, arts and crafts show running today, too, until 5 p.m. And for the kids, a barnyard zoo. That's at the library parking lot along State and Main Streets. And, of course, the parade, which is very shortly to be underway here. They're coming down the street at us right now.
I think you can hear the sirens coming. The first, of course, is the Sycamore Fire Department and Police Department. Dale Vesta, the Chief of Police, John Linville, the Fire Chief. That'll be followed by the Sycamore JC's Welcome Banner. Right now, the first fire and police cars are just coming up to the reviewing stand, which is, I'd say 100 feet in front of where we are. We're located in front of Paulson Appliance, and thank you, John, for this sterling location once again this year. He's within punching distance of me here on the stand, so I've got to be careful what I say. And we have as usual, a huge crowd.
That's right. Thousands of people flock into this event every year. And of special note this year is the Grand Marshal. It's none other than Bugs Bunny this year. And he will be leading the parade here today.
Right now, the police and fire chief's cars are coming up to the reviewing stand with lights and sirens blaring. And pretty soon, it's going to get a little bit too loud to say anything here until they pass. And right behind them and behind the welcome banner is the Sycamore JC's pumpkin.
Very large pumpkin, too.
You're going to talk.
How'd you like that one in front of your front door?
You're talking a lot of pumpkin pie out of this pumpkin.
Yes.
You're talking the entire city of Sycamore could have a piece of pie if you made pumpkin pies out of that one.
I believe it's actually like an inflated pumpkin, really. It's a pumpkin balloon, I think.
About
That's
15 feet high, I'd say. 10,
yes.
15 feet high and about that wide.
You can hear things getting underway here at the 29th Annual Pumpkin Parade here in downtown Sycamore. Cars for the town, cars for the country. You'll find a great selection of cars, trucks, and vans for both around the town and country driving at Town & Country Motors in Sycamore. Right now, Town & Country Motors has lots of one-owner cars, vans, trucks, and 4x4s. Also remember Town & Country Motors for your next car rental. Town & Country is also your U-Save rental headquarters for car, van, and truck rental with daily, weekly, and monthly low rental rates. And now you can hear the noise. And who's that waving out of the window of the police car there, Mark?
I believe it's McGruff, the crime dog.
That's right. There's McGruff.
Very popular with just about everybody here at the Pumpkin Fest Parade. Fire Chief John Linville, and Chief of Police Dale Vesta. Dale Vesta riding with McGruff.
Sounding their sirens as I go by, of course. I'm sure you can hear that.
Representatives of the Sycamore Police and Fire Departments, they've just rounded the corner, and now from the Sycamore Fire Department, one of their rescue squad trucks is coming up to the corner here to make the turn down on State Street. Police making sure there's plenty of room to make the turn here. Now comes the Sycamore JC's welcome banner with Mike Montgomery and Ron Living holding that in costume, gorilla costumes.
That's right. There's a couple of gorillas with the banner there.
One brown
and one black
gorilla. Now comes the Unibets Sycamore Post number 1, Ambets Carpentersville Post number 25 color guard.
They're dressed in fatigues and also
fatigues and dress uniforms with the flags of the VFW, the American Legion, also the Vietnam group. Now here is that giant pumpkin.
Giant pumpkin, of course, orange with a black smiley face, and there's the little green stem at the top there. And it is a balloon too. Boy, I bet that takes a lot of air to inflate that one, huh?
Now, this is kind of interesting. Here comes a, well, it's called the Suds Bucket. This is one of those monster trucks. The body lifts hydraulically, and right now, if you can imagine something on 3.5-foot wheels with an engine about that tall, the guy is lifting the body of the truck up and down off the engine. This is from the Hampshire Ambets Post 91 and the Carpentersville Ambets Post 25. Now, that's the kind of car I'd like to have in a traffic jam, because I could just go right over anything.
That's right. Sharp black color with some trim there on it, some purple trim. Looks pretty nice.
Now comes the Vietnam Color Guard and Marching Unit. Vietnam of Sycamore, the Greater Chicago chapter. Also the Northern Kane County chapter of Vietnam.
Dressed in their fatigues. The leaders have red berets that they're wearing. The rest of them are wearing fatigues and their caps, beige-colored caps.
John Duback is president of the DeKalb County chapter, and thanks to Rich Joslin of the Sycamore chapter as color guard chairman. About 35, 40 people. Also their families marching in fatigues, in Vietnam jackets, hats.
A variety.
And a standing ovation by many in the crowd here. Sirens coming up, which means it's time for another fire truck. This is the Sycamore fire truck with the theme winners of the Pumpkin Fest. First, Vanessa Isham, Never Ending Pumpkins is the theme. Second place, Kyla Rader. And third place, Stephanie Ohlert. And they're riding atop one of Sycamore's fire engines. I believe it's a pumper.
I think so.
Once it turns the corner, I can tell better. Sirens and lights blazing, of course. Red and white in color. And they look like they're having a good time.
Yeah, they're waving to the crowd as they go by.
And now...
Yes.
Coming up, the Northern Illinois University Show Band with the color guard, marching 250 strong under the direction of Frank Bibb.
And the color guard that we see coming up the street here, ladies are dressed in white skirts and also red and white blouses. And they are carrying white flags with black sprinkled on them. Actually, some black and silver in there, too. Very colorful.
Doing a precision routine with them as they come around the corner here. And now let's listen to the NIU Marching Band with Corona. the tuba line passing us.
The band themselves.
The award-winning NIU Husky Marching Band.
That's right. Band themselves dressed in the little red tunics there with white pants and black, red, and white hats with the little white tassels on top. Very colorful band.
Executing a pinwheel turn as they come around the corner.
That's what you call that.
That's the pinwheel turn. And
Pinwheel.
now, here comes a fellow who gets probably more applause than anybody except maybe Mr. Pumpkin himself. This is the mayor of Sycamore, Red Johnson, mayor of Sycamore for 33 years.
And also his wife along with him, waving from the car. White Cadillac.
Coming by
With the red
in front of
interior.
our booth here. You also know Mayor Johnson from Johnson's Auction. His first auction was on West State Street in Sycamore in 1956. And here we go.
This is the moment we've all been waiting for.
The Grand Marshal.
Drum roll,
this
please.
year's Pumpkin Parade. It's Bugs Bunny.
And he is holding a giant carrot. I have not seen a carrot ever that big. And there's Sylvester
It's also
waving.
Sylvester there,
Yes.
too. In a float with pumpkins and hay with a banner along the back saying Happy 50th Bugs Bunny sponsored.
And a green and white float there with the little green spangles at the end, decorated with pumpkins and corn husks.
Now coming by is Denise White, a contestant for Miss Illinois, being sponsored by Warner Cable, coming by in a black dress and a black matching Camaro.
That's right, shiny black.
Now we have the first of several antique cars that are going to be coming down.
Oh, those are always my favorite part of the parade.
And this is in front of Mr. Pumpkin himself, Wally Thoreau. Riding as usual on his high wheeler. Now, I don't know how anybody rides those things.
No,
Never get me up on
I
one.
couldn't keep my balance. And he is wearing tails there.
Black tails, black top hat, bedecked with orange vest and ribbons and streamers, and that bike of his is orange and black. The wheel on that thing is, what, 4.5, 5 feet high?
At least.
And you should see this guy go through. The man rides that as easily as anybody else walks.
That's right.
Riding up and down the streets,
And
circles.
he's not, it's not a straight line. He's going in circles. I would tip over.
And you can hear the horn on the front of his bike. Wally Thoreau, Mr.
Founder of the Pumpkin Parade.
Coming by the booth. There he is. With buttons from every one of the Sycamore Pumpkin Fests.
He's saying, have a very happy Halloween. He stopped by the station on Saturday morning during the morning show, and Dick Cleese chatted with him for a while. Very interesting gentleman. He was saying that he had envisioned the Pumpkin Festival to be everything that it is today.
Coming up next, the Sycamore Pom-Poms with a Say No to Drugs banner.
And those pom-poms are dressed in black and white. Their tops are black and white. Skirts are black with gold trim. And the pom-poms themselves that they're waving are gold in color. Doing a little kick step in front
Doing
of
a
us.
kind of a Rockettes routine.
Yeah,
They're going
that's
around
what
the
it looks
corner
like.
here. To be followed by the Sycamore High School Band under the direction of Larry Palmer, marching with 46 members, color guard in front.
And they are dressed in black with the gold vests, also black bow ties, twirling orange flags.
With the Sycamore Pumpkin Fest emblem on them, and they're playing Border Crossing.
Themselves. They're dressed in a white vest with gold trim, gold and black trim, and black pants.
Hats with gold and black plumes. And now, here comes the Sycamore Kiwanis Junior Grand Marshals essay contest, 6th to 8th graders on a pumpkin theme. They're riding on a float with the shelter is shaped like a pumpkin.
That's right, and a green background there like grass.
And Katie Troger and Batoni Thought, first place. Holly Munch and Michael Arrington, second place. Mike Smith and Kristen Griffith, third place.
And what do we have coming up here?
The DeKalb County Shrine President, Jack Brannon, riding in a miniature Duesenberg.
Oh, is that what that is? Beautiful,
like
black in color.
Silver
shiny
trim.
chrome, yeah. Very shiny chrome.
And a hood that looks long enough to put a jet engine underneath.
It's a very unique looking car.
And here are the DeKalb County. And who's that, John?
Boone Lewis and Kenny Westberg in the sidecar.
Okay, we have some Shriners with clown makeup on.
And they're zipping around in little red vehicles.
Small motorcycle with sidecar.
Yeah.
With shark's teeth on that sidecar.
Yeah, it does. I was trying to figure out what that was there.
Driving around, waving to the crowd. We have a gorilla on a miniature motorcycle of the DeKalb County Shrine.
It is miniature, too. So a few gorillas, of course, black gorillas going up and making faces at the children. And little clown here dressed up, zipping around in a red car.
Also coming up is a fire truck. It's a 1952 Mack fire truck. Now, the Shriners support 22 hospitals for crippled children and 3 burn centers. And if you know any child under 15 or 16 that needs help, call a Shriner.
Looks like they took a lot of time polishing that. It's a really nice, shiny red color.
Highly polished Mack fire truck from the DeKalb County Shrine Club. A couple of movie stars, television stars. It's Vince and Larry, the Crash Dummies.
They're dressed in gray and blue, waving to the crowd as they pass by.
Always buckle up and don't drink and drive. Their message. This is the Rock River chapter and the Illinois Department of Traffic Safety. The Rock River chapter of the Red Cross are sponsoring Larry and Vince.
Where do you find a reputable quality outlet for auto repairs? One that delivers more than phony promises and out-of-this-world estimates? Just travel south on 4th Street to G&L Auto Repair. Accurate knowledge of your car puts G&L Auto Repair a step ahead of the competition. Jerry is a certified master technician. You'll get professional service with a personal touch at G&L Auto Repair on South 4th near DeKalb High. Open daily from 8 a.m. till 5:30 p.m. Saturdays till noon. Sounds like we have another band coming our way.
That we do. The Huntley Junior High Band under the direction of Dave Balicka, marching with 135 people and performing on Broadway.
White hats with the orange plumes on them, also black trim on those hats, and they're in black tunics, black pants. The pants, of course, trimmed in orange, and they're wearing white and orange banners across their chest. Very colorful.
And that, I'm afraid, not Huntley, but DeKalb.
DeKalb.
The DeKalb High School marching. You say your hair is frightening? Well, then treat yourself to a bewitching hairstyle at the main event in downtown Sycamore. Susan and Belinda specialize in creative hair designs, cutting, custom perming, and coloring. The main event is located at the Sycamore Plaza, 407 West State. To reserve your time, call 895-7017. That's 895-7017. That was the DeKalb marching band going by there. And now, the Stagecoach Players, who present plays and musicals throughout the year. here of unfailingly high quality. They're all in costume.
Sure are. There's a man in the tux right there, decked out with a white shirt, white gloves, the whole business. Some other
Evening gown
characters
going by. There's looks like characters from could be Romeo and Juliet or
Yes.
Phantom of the Opera.
I think so. He's got a black cape and blue.
Speaking of, the Phantom of the Opera is
there
going
he is
by right now.
himself.
He is on a float with a Gothic arch depicted, and he is standing on a boat.
He's dressed in
The Pinch Penny Phantom of the Opera.
he's dressed in black there.
And now coming some small Phantoms of the Opera. And one riding in a cart being pulled
by a dog?
Rottweiler.
Oh,
It's a Rottweiler.
oh, you
And
know your
now,
dogs.
Here we have,
There's a teenage
kinds
midget. There's a turtle there.
it's a midget Teenage Mutant Ninja
Yes,
Turtle.
a small one.
There
Midget.
are skeletons going by.
Witches.
There's children dressed up as witches, as bumblebees.
Clowns. There's one dressed as a crayon, an orange crayon.
And a green crayon right next.
Yeah, that's right. Riding in the wagon
the mother
there.
dressed up as a clown.
Uh-huh.
And now here comes what looks
Like a little princess.
or Cinderella.
And look at the horses there.
Mounted police.
Yes, mounted police.
They're dressed up as mounted police. There's another skeleton going by. There's a devil with sword, another Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle,
Variety of costumes there.
and even more coming down.
There's another clown. And looks like a jester. Yes, a jester. Dressed in black and white with a little red heart on her shirt there. And more coming up the street here. It's 47 degrees right now and sunny skies out here. We're broadcasting live from in front of Paulson Appliance in downtown Sycamore. This is the 29th annual Pumpkin Parade here on 1360
Here comes
WLBK.
a rather elaborate costuming. It's a stagecoach being pulled by a couple of kids dressed up as cowboys and cowgirls. More clowns
And we see a sorcerer dressed in blue, white beard.
with tall pointed cap with moon and stars on it and a magic wand. There's a pirate ship with a very small pirate riding in it.
And there's Frankenstein with those large shoes, large soles on the bottom of his shoes. He's had a green face, wearing a brown vest and green pants.
And there is a tiny witch being pulled by her father in a wagon.
She looks like she's asleep.
Very calm witch.
Yes,
There's a small
Batman
Batman.
and a
In the
Batmobile.
Batmobile even, yeah.
Of course, in black, dressed all in black.
Now coming by a blue
Mack truck, semi. It's actually pulling a float here.
and it's a large
Box.
huge trick-or-treat box.
Yes, it's decorated with the black cat. Says trick or treat on it with the pumpkins and.
And this float is by Sycamore Containers Incorporated. And that is about 12-foot tall, 4-foot wide trick-or-treat box, which would take you a while to fill that
Fill
up.
it up.
State JC officers of the Illinois JCs are coming by right now. John Bourne, the regional director from Walnut, Illinois. John Sarver, who's the district director of Sycamore. And also Sycamore JC's president, Mike Miner. Here's Mike Miner now. And the parade chairman, Diane Eunuch.
Yet another fire engine coming up the street here, but it belongs to the Shriners, correct, Mark?
The Shriners of Batavia. Now, this is even older than the Sycamore.
Yes, it is.
The DeKalb County Shriners chapter. This is a 1927.
Oh, my.
All shined a 1927 Hirsch. And following that is a Cushman scooter with three Shriners riding under a large fez.
Yes, it's a plum-colored fez at that. And the Shriners are wearing gold jackets there with orange print and the white caps.
Time for another band.
That's right.
This is the Shabana High School Marching Band.
And they have white and red tops, actually, and black pants. also some very colorful caps they're wearing. Black and red and white with the little white tassels at the top. That takes quite a bit of practice to get that routine down. They must spend hours at it.
Now a very tiny replica of a Ford Model A coming by. This is Happy Day from Hollijay's Camping Club. A float with,
a camper on it, miniature camper.
Miniature camper. There's one girl dressed up as a pumpkin.
She's riding on a hay bale there, and the float is trimmed in white and blue.
With a tree. Now, I've never seen a tree with pumpkins growing off of it, but
no, I haven't. That'd be great if they grew on trees, though.
Sponsored by Holiday Hour. Now, Coldwell Banker Royal Realty, and they're coming down in a, as Jim has informed me, a 1965 GTO.
It's red.
Red Hot 2 is the license plate, and this is a mint condition. 65 GTO, one of the great muscle cars, and they're representatives of Coldwell Banker Royal Realty.
They're dressed in
coming by.
Sweatshirts and blue pants. Sweatshirts are white and with blue and red on them.
And coming by now is what looks like a 66 Dodge Dart.
Sounds close.
Close enough. V8, it's yellow in color, convertible, black convertible top. And a couple more representatives of Royal Realty dressed up as pumpkins.
Mr. Crumb's Cookies invites you to stop in for the tastiest cookies you've ever had, made from all natural ingredients. Mr. Crumb's offers a large selection of cookies, up to 20 different varieties, and Mr. Crumb's offers as many as 10 kinds of muffins, as well as brownies. Stop by Mr. Crumb's Cookies at 722 West Lincoln Highway in DeKalb, Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 9 p.m., and Saturday from 9 to 6. Happy Halloween from Mr. Crumb's Cookies, 722 West Lincoln Highway in DeKalb.
And I must admit my embarrassment, supposedly being the band expert here. That was Huntley we heard earlier. I got my list mixed up. Now here comes the DeKalb High School Marching Band under the direction of Glenn Erickson. They march with 80 in the band, and they're performing a number entitled Murada.
Color Guard is dressed in white shirts, black pants. They have little gold bow ties there, and they are carrying gold-colored flags, giving those a spin right now for the crowd. You have to be very coordinated to do that.
That's something I could never do.
No, I couldn't either.
I'm fortunate that I can lift a fork, much less spin a flag.
Doing a little marching step for us now.
You hear the whistle of the drum major. Drum major dressed in black shirt with white pants and an orange belt, a white vest, and a hat that resembles an Australian digger with an orange plume. And you can hear their drum routine as they come around the corner. Glenn Erickson, the director, marching.
Rest of the band members dressed in orange tunics with black and gold stripes and black pants with the orange stripes. And the black hats, the type that Mark mentioned a moment ago.
Coming across with a pinwheel turn in front of us. Tubas with DeKalb on them. First brass and then percussion, and now woodwinds coming by, and in back, the DeKalb High School pom-poms.
And the pom-pom girls are dressed in white tunics there with black shirts, also wearing skirts decorated in black, orange, and white. And they're carrying orange and black pom-poms.
State Farm is there with agents who got to know all your family insurance needs. State Farm agents take care of your car, home, life, and health insurance. They get to know you and your needs, so get better service on all your family insurance too. And like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. In Sycamore, see State Farm agents Bob Kiker and George Beasley at 112 Salmonok Street. Now coming through the Oddfellows Lodge and their float with members of the Oddfellows Lodge in a couple of blue vans bedecked with sycamores. I should say sycamores with pumpkins, befitting the Sycamore Pumpkin Fest, and Dare to Keep Kids Off Drugs, their banner. Here's something large.
Oh my, very large.
Del Monte Foods is brought a pea harvester to the parade.
A big red one.
And if you've never gotten close to some farm machinery, this is huge. About 15 feet tall and a good 30 feet long. And you can hear it going by. Now, John Paulson has been kicking me under the table to make sure. Beautiful Edsel.
Yes. All shiny, especially for the parade.
Is that a Pacer or a Ranger? Ranger. It's an Edsel Ranger. I couldn't read the side of that. And now, coming down the street, our next band under the direction of John Hansen. It's the Malta High School Band, 58 members strong, playing Doo-Wah-Diddy.
They're dressed in red and white. And their skirts are red, color guards carrying red and white flags.
And this is the first band to perform a three-point turn in front of us, a rather precision turn that gives you a very square 90-degree angle as opposed to a pinwheel turn that you're used to seeing many times in parades.
And the band members are dressed in red and white tunics, also black pants, white shoes decking out the outfits, and black hats, furry hats.
Executed very well, too. Now, the Kishwaukee District Boy Scouts. Doug Britt, the district coordinator of Sycamore. Pat Marsden, the district commissioner of Sycamore and Genoa. It promotes experiences in camping and outdoor activities. There's tiger cubs, wolf, bear, webelos. 4 out of every 5 boys have joined Scouts at one time or another. Here's a truck with someone who bears a striking resemblance to Abe Lincoln. This is compliments of Boss Motors.
Complete with the tall hat.
This is Cub Pack 337 of Hinckley, the Boo Scouts, as they're calling themselves.
They're dressed in their Cub Scout outfits, but also they have some masks. There's a gypsy up there, too. There's more Cub Scouts going by.
Here's Lincoln School Pack 131 with a large pumpkin, the City of Never-Ending Pumpkins, and members of their pack. And now the Cheeseboro and Clinton Rosette Pack with a Christmas tree decorated in pumpkins.
That's right. It's the first time I've seen a Christmas tree decorated in pumpkins, too.
This is Pack 148, the Pumpkin Carols this year instead of Christmas carols. Another marching band. This is from Genoa Junior High School. 40 members strong under the direction of Ellen Holly, playing Spagna.
They're decked out in Halloween costumes. So it looks like there's a clown there bashing the cymbals. Several clowns in this parade. There's even a graduate. A little girl dressed as a graduate marching in that particular band. Doing a little marching step in front of us right now.
Oh boy. Parade is taking up. Now the parade is coming up. We'll get to the oh boy in just a minute.
Yes.
You'll love this.
This is great.
Coming down in front of us now is from the DeKalb County Farm Bureau, serving farm, family, and community, representing rural and urban people who are interested in the welfare of agriculture. This claims fame for being the first farm bureau in the state and the nation, and it's a float with their symbol serving farm, family, and community of the DeKalb County Farm Bureau. The Baileyville Hillbillies are here again.
Yes, they are, and
a truck you will not believe.
It doesn't have a windshield, but the windshield wipers are running. Revving
This
their
thing
engine now.
smokes. There is, if you've seen the Beverly Hillbillies and you've seen the truck that they use, make it about 8 times older with 8 times more stuff on it. Have it wobble with 1 year. Or have it wobble from one wheel and dragging bumper and chains and Coca-Cola signs.
There's wooden baskets on it, a broom, even a Raggedy Ann back there in the corner.
There's Granny in a rocking chair on top. It's backfiring, barely making it. I think it started off life as a Ford at one time, but I don't know what you would
I'm
call
not
it
sure
now.
what it is now.
No, I take that back. This is a 64 Chevy truck. There are 276 articles wired to it.
276.
Kids call it junk, adults call it antiques. They call it nostalgic. This is the 40th parade the Baileyville Hillbillies have been in this year. And their highlight was when they won the Illinois State Fair Judges Special Award for Best Humor.
Oh my goodness.
Maryland Majorettes coming up next, a non-for-profit youth organization. The director, Marilyn Lenshaw Burkhardt.
And the band members are dressed in burgundy tunics with a white trim, with a white stripe running down there, also black pants with a white trim, and white hats with a white plume, very colorful. And their flags that they are carrying are white, kind of a burgundy color, almost pink, light burgundy.
So far, they have performed in the Say No to Drugs Parade, 4th of July in Wisconsin parades, first place trophy in the Algonquin Founders Day Parade, and the Mendota Sweet Corn Fest. They represented Northern Illinois in 1990 in New York for the Notre Dame versus Virginia game, and the Corps stayed in New York City for 3 days. Now, all that besides many other national events. Maryland's Majorettes.
And the Majorettes themselves are dressed in the burgundy sparkling outfits, got little white sweaters underneath. And here's some coming by us who are completely dressed in white. Not completely, it's trimmed in orange. Orange shirts underneath and little orange pumpkins on their shirts.
Majorettes of all sizes, all ages,
That's
from
right.
very young up to older kids.
Waving silver pom-poms there, glittering in the sunlight as they go by.
One thing you hear about on 1360, WLBK DeKalb Sycamore, is the Steam Power Show and the Steam Power Club. And right now, the Steam Power Club is coming by first up with a sign talking about their threshing bee coming up next August, of course, the 8th, 9th, and 10th, the Taylor Marshall Farm. But also a John Deere tractor, a very old John Deere tractor. Small compared to what we have now. Also a plow. Probably these are 80, 90 years old.
Looks like it, yes.
And here's the Caneland High School band.
They're dressed in sweatshirts and jeans. Blue sweatshirts with white and orange trim, I might add.
The Caneland High School band under the direction of Joe Pandolfo performing Louie Louie. Next float is the Prudential Country Heritage Realtors float. Richard Fagan, the organizer. And this is being pulled by a very large
semi.
Peterbilt truck.
That's right. Burgundy in color with a silver trim there. Costume kids waving from bales of straw. And there's a haunted house up there and a witch over stirring something in her cauldron there. I wonder what that is.
I'm not sure, but the
Witch's Brew, Jim
it
says.
says it's been sold, so.
The Witch's Brew has been sold. Okay.
Did you think that Tropical Tan was only for tanning? Well, think again. Tropical Tan in the Northland Plaza is now your headquarters for LA Gear and Panama Jack clothing. Not just t-shirts and sweats, but jeans, jackets, sweatshirts, along with aerobic workout gear. It's the best thing you'll ever see, all at Tropical Tan in the Northland Plaza, so stop in today. Make Tropical Tan your LA Gear and Panama Jack headquarters. The Canine Patrol going by.
Rather large German Shepherd there.
Of the county sheriff's office, and now the Mooseheart Queen in her court from Mooseheart, riding in a maroon Chevrolet pickup truck.
And here come the Huntley Redskins up the street. They're dressed in red and white skirts trimmed in red. color guard dressed in the white tunics and black pants with silver trim, red and silver and black flags. Let's take a listen to the band. People. There's so many people. Thousands of people every year flock in for the pumpkin parade.
The streets are jammed.
Yes.
All the way up and down the parade route as far as we can see.
As far as we can see. People down in front of us.
10, 15 deep along both sides of the parade route, all the way.
Here we have another float coming our way, pulled by a red pickup.
This is ACS and National Chemistry Week. Which came first, chemistry or the pumpkin? And you've got chemistry professors talking about pumpkins up there.
Bales of hay and a gentleman dressed as a pumpkin there.
This is the NIU Chemistry Club, the Rock River section of the American Chemical Society. It's an entry by Gordon Greshek and Robin Rogers of the NIU Department of Chemistry. The Rock River section was voted outstanding in the 1988 and given the National Chemistry Award in 1989.
Some of the other activities going on here today, I just mentioned a couple right now. A flea market is going on at Sycamore High School. That's up until 5 o'clock this evening. Also, a shuttle bus runs every 15 minutes between the high school and downtown.
And now coming some old cars. This is sponsored by Fargo Motors. First of all, a brand new car, 1991 car, followed by a much older Buick, a 1922 Buick Touring car.
Yep, yellow and black in color. Predominantly yellow, I might add.
Joseph and Ellen Tonelli of Spring Valley, dressed in
looks like an old swimming trunk.
Outfits of the 20s, a flapper
red
uniform.
And green and yellow and stripes. Lots of stripes. And now he's getting out of the car. The car's still going down the street.
The car drives itself. Maybe they don't build them like they used to.
No.
How do you fix a broken jack-o'-lantern? Now, this is the question on the front of the float from Discover Sycamore, the Salem's never-ending vine of little pumpkins.
And the float decorated in little cardboard pumpkins there.
This is from Salem Lutheran Church. This won second place in 1988, first place in 1989. A City of Pumpkins, with the minister of the church and various costumed riders on it.
Cars for the town, cars for the country. You'll find a great selection of cars, trucks, and vans for both around the town and country driving at Town and Country Motors in Sycamore. Right now, Town and Country Motors has lots of one-owner cars, vans, trucks, and 4x4s. Also, remember Town and Country Motors for your next car rental. Town and Country is also your You Save rental headquarters for car, van, and truck rental with daily, weekly, and monthly low rental rates. Now, Town and Country Motors is at 1625 DeKalb Avenue in Sycamore.
I should mention, as pointed out by John Paulson, the only fellow who likes jokes like I do, how do you fix a broken pumpkin? With a pumpkin patch.
Oh.
Once Upon a Pumpkin. Now, this is a beautiful float.
That's right.
This is a mountain scene with an open fairy tale book and a pumpkin city. It's a pumpkin theme done in, well, like some of Grimm's fairy tales.
Exactly.
A beautiful float.
Float trimmed in black and orange, the traditional Halloween colors, of course.
This is featuring the city of never-ending pumpkins.
And that is the theme for this year's Pumpkin Parade.
Well, Bugs Bunny, our Grand Marshal, he's been by. We've had some of the bands. We're not even halfway through the Pumpkin Fest
No, we're
parade
not.
this year. This is a large parade and floats of every description. And we have a lot more bands coming down. And we'll be hearing from the Crete Moni Band with Any Luck at All. And we'll also be hearing from Huntley High School Band. Also, we'll see Chris's Baton Twirlers, Land of Lauren, Exotics,
There are about
Sycamore High School FFA, you know.
Excuse me, I'm sorry. There are about 30 bands altogether, slightly over 30, I might add, in this parade. And checking the floats, there's over 120 entries. I guess that it includes the bands, too. So over 120 entries in this Sycamore Pumpkin Parade. It's the 29th annual.
And every year this parade has gotten bigger and more
bigger.
famous, and you have not only floats from all over the Midwest and the country, but you have people who come into Sycamore just to see this parade and to see the pumpkins down at the courthouse lawn and also enjoy all the festivities of Sycamore during Pumpkin Fest. Motorcycles coming down the street doing some precision routines. These are full dress motorcycles. Big uns. Some of these motorcycles have got engines bigger than some cars.
And they're jet black in color.
Now this first one coming up has Mickey and Minnie Mouse
Kristen,
riding around in a motorcycle.
black and red.
These are the Jersey Pine Cruisers, a team established in 1979 in Des Plaines, Illinois, to promote responsible and safe motorcycling through education, group rides, campouts, long-distance touring. Coming by with a banner and also a flag, and then, what do we got here? I'd say 30, 40,
Yep.
maybe even more than that. All motorcycles doing precision drill routines
Zipping
in the
around.
street.
That takes talent, too.
And these aren't little bikes.
No,
These
they're
are-
not. They're large.
These are the full touring bikes with saddles and packs. Some of these with, 1,000 to some 1,300 cc engines on them.
Little bit of background on the Pumpkin Festival here. First contest for the pumpkins was actually held back in 1962. And if you've been by the courthouse in Sycamore this year, you've seen the variety of decorated pumpkins. Well, that's when the first contest started, was back in 1962. And soon after that, organizations were sponsoring related activities, and before too long, the event grew to festival proportions. And through the efforts of Sycamore Lions, these decorated pumpkins on the DeKalb County Courthouse continue to be the focal point of a week-long celebration.
What they're doing now as they're coming up to the corner is they're coming in straight at us, doing a loop in front of us and turning to our left, their right, and running their motorcycles in between the others that are coming up towards us. So this takes a bit of coordination and precision, because at one point you have two motorcycles going right at each other and they miss each other every time.
No, that's not for me. No, thank you. Doing a very good job at that, though.
I'd have trouble doing that if I was walking.
One even has a passenger there. He's riding with a teddy bear on back. Must be his buddy. The buddy system.
These members of the Jersey Pine Cruisers. All kinds, all descriptions of motorcycles, different makes, but all cruising bikes. These are not stunt bikes. These are not dirt bikes. These are full-size 4- and 6-cylinder motorcycles you see very often on highways. And here's another group of probably 15 of them waiting to do their stunt.
Broadcasting live in front of Paulson Appliance here in downtown Sycamore. It's the 29th annual Pumpkin Parade coming your way over 1360 WLBK to Camp Sycamore.
46 degrees and a perfect day for the Pumpkin Fest parade. Last year was a little warmer. Got up to 72, I think, when the parade started.
My goodness.
Looking at the temperature. Yeah, John says yes, it was 72. Looking at the temperature across from us, 2 o'clock here on 1360. And now the second group of motorcycles is getting ready to come around the corner in front of our stand here.
While we're waiting for them, we want to remind you that you can find a reputable quality outlet for auto repairs at G&L Auto. They're one that delivers more than phony promises and out-of-this-world estimates. Just travel south on 4th Street to G&L Auto Repair. Accurate knowledge of your car puts G&L Auto Repair a step ahead of the competition.
Now the motorcycles are passing in front of us. The parade continues. And coming up, this should be a float from the Illinois Department of Children and Family Services.
And there's a scarecrow on the front of that float and a bale of straw.
Depicts a home scene.
Yes.
DCFS.
Orange pumpkins.
The purpose of the DCFS is to protect children and assist families. It's a mandated agency that deals with all abused and neglected children in Illinois.
Are these oxen?
They are, it certainly looks like Scotch Highland oxen. Land Aloran Exotics. This is 2 oxen with pumpkins on their halters, and there is a live Bengal tiger inside the circus wagon.
Circus wagon.
Pulling.
And it's decorated in, the circus wagon is decorated in red and yellow.
Land Aloran Exotics, owned by Lauren Womack, whom you've heard on 1360 before. The Land Aloran Exotics open to the public on Sundays only from 11 to 5, no charge, but they do accept donations on rural Main Street in Batavia. And he does a lot to preserve exotic animals here.
Now, if you're going to be over here at the Pumpkin Fest a little bit later on, we have some concessions downtown all day. Also a flea market running at the Sycamore High School up until 5 p.m. And an art and craft show that goes until 5. It's at the community center at 425 West State. And a barnyard zoo. Get those kids involved. Barnyard Zoo at the library parking lot here in Sycamore. Now, that's located at State and Main Street, so that's what's coming up.
Where do you find a reputable quality outlet for auto repairs? One that delivers more than phony promises and out-of-this-world estimates? Just travel south on 4th Street to G&L Auto Repair. Accurate knowledge of your car puts G&L Auto Repair a step ahead of the competition. Jerry is a certified master technician. You'll get professional service with a personal touch at G&L Auto Repair on South 4th Street near DeKalb High. Open daily from 8 until 5:30, Saturdays till noon. Coming up next, approaching the corner in front of our stand, Chris Baton Twirlers. Directors, Chris and Shirley Smith. They want to promote the great sport of baton twirling and have fun doing it.
And they are holding a blue banner with white trim. Also, their sweatshirts are blue, and they're wearing a pair of blue jeans there.
The leader and director, Christine Smith, is the 1990 Illinois State Grand Champion in 4 events: baton twirling, solo, strut, twirling 2 batons, and twirling 3 batons. Again, this is a sport that takes a lot more coordination than this body has.
Me too.
The baton twirlers amaze me at some of the dexterity and the precision needed.
Takes a lot of practice.
And a lot of practice in doing some of these tricks. They're coming by now to come around the corner.
Doing a somersault and then catching the baton. That takes real talent.
In front are some of the older students, one dressed in blue with orange and white, the other 2 dressed in white shirts with blue and white.
There she goes again, doing a somersault, throwing the baton up the air and then catching it.
I would not want to do this for a 2-hour parade.
And now they're rolling it off their necks, around their necks.
Not even touching it with their hands.
They're not touching it with their hands at all.
Now some of the students, some of the younger members of Chris Baton Twirlers in blue sweatshirts and white sweatpants.
Doing their thing for us right here in front of the stand here. Performing some maneuvers.
Haven't seen him drop one yet either.
No, I haven't. Doing a good job.
And you can hear the music they use coming by now as their car follows them up. Chris Baton Twirlers of Belvedere, Illinois.
Good job there.
Now the Sycamore Commandery number 15 of the Masons. Louis Minard reminds us that the Masons shed light to the less fortunate. They support eye research, give $500 scholarships to students in eye-related fields, have a home for the aged, and every Sunday, of course, as you hear, a pancake breakfast. And now here's members bedecked in their full uniforms with plumed hats and black uniforms. And coming on back, a pickup truck with fish with members of Job's Daughters in fishing outfits, and also royalty bedecked in gold crowns. And as you can hear,
another band.
The band coming up is the Deerfield High School Band under the direction of Daniel Brame and Savada.
And they're dressed in red and gray. Gray tunics with the red trim, gray pants with red trim.
Tuba, percussion, and woodwind formation, as most marching bands use these days. Only 39 members, but they put out a lot of sound.
And as they pass by, we see on their uniforms a D representing their school. That D is a red and some white trim around it there, part of their uniforms. Very colorful.
Sycamore High School FFA, Al Dietz and Darren Punt, advisors, I should say. Get my tongue working here this morning, or this afternoon. They develop youth leadership, also cooperation and citizenship through interest in agriculture. And by an international 766 Farmall. With a float, we have a pumpkin barn and silo.
And a pumpkin sheep and a pumpkin cow.
Yes, and a pumpkin chicken. All dressed up, and a couple of members dressed up in farm outfits. Some dogs coming by.
DOG?
This is, yes, Bev Keefe, and 20 to 25 members, all in blue with all kinds of canines with DOG vests on.
Cocker Spaniel, a Collie, a Sheltie.
Yes, also some Goldens, Beagle, the Basset, Doberman, all well behaved. All better behaved than my two boneheads would be if they were out here.
Are they obedient?
Oh, they're obedient fine as long as you don't get them around food. As soon as Jacob smelled the food, he'd be gone. But there's a couple of Rottweilers now, and all walking very patiently at heel. Members of DOG. DOG's purpose to educate people on understanding their pets and to make better canine citizens for our community. McCabe Realtors and their Mack fire truck.
There's a genuine Dalmatian riding on the fire truck.
And all of them waving at us, and you hear them on Real Estate Open Line on 1360. That's McCabe Realtors. They raised over $5,400 this year with that great American yard sale you heard about. Now, Pick and Save in a float coming by with
pumpkins all over it.
Pumpkins and children dressed as flowers. Also a house made of pumpkins. Vine Avenue, it's called. And the Pick and Save fire truck. This is, again, a restored Mack fire truck. It's white with a red stripe.
Different color scheme here.
Totally restored and operating. Keep those pumpkins rolling is the title of the Pick and Save float.
And it looks like we have some llamas coming up the street here being led. And they seem like they're very tame llamas too.
Storybrook Llamas. Owners Donalds and Sandra Oranger. They're from Hampshire. Promoting the versatility of llamas, showing packing, pets, wool quality, breeding, or just having fun with this loving animal. Why would be a good pet? Little large.
Yes. Nothing you want to keep in the house as a house pet.
And this year, for the third year, they'll be going to Apostolic Nursing Home, where the llamas even go into the rooms of the residents. And you can see them at the DeKalb County Fair, At Sandwich, the Ramandu, the black llama that we just saw, was reserve grand champion. Crystals Unlimited featuring a 1950 Plymouth Classic, gray in color, four-door, beautiful car.
Very sharp. State Farm is there to show you just where you stand on your family insurance, car, home, life, and health. State Farm agents will go over them all. Get the family insurance checkup. The advice is free. The decisions are yours. And like a good neighbor, State Farm is there in Sycamore. See State Farm agents Bob Kiker and George Beasley. They're located at 112 Somonauk Street here in Sycamore.
Coming up now, another marching band. This is the Thornwood High School Band, under the direction of Jeff Redman. The Thornwood banner they're carrying, instead of being cloth with lettering on it, is about 15 feet wide. Each letter is individual in gold spangles with red trim spelling out Thornwood.
Very colorful.
And very impressive, too.
Yes.
As you can hear, a very fine band. Bands that we will see here today.
And they are dressed in black and white.
In white with blue, dark blue spangled vests and gold headbands with blue pom-pom. And on the tuba's bells, they have written trick or treat.
The rest of the band members dressed in black tunics, black pants, gold trim, little gold and white capes. Their hats have white plumes and white with a black trim on the hats.
Getting into the spirit of the parade with orange and black streamers on the drum line. The applause, a very fine band, and also a pretty precise unit coming around the corner here. We ought to thank Mark Charvat, who is running around with a microphone as the bands come across the corner, trying to follow and bring you some of the sounds of the bands a little better than we can here up on the reviewing stand. So if you start to hear some breathless running later on, that's
you
Mark.
know who that is. They're floating
with nurses.
Yes, and yellow trim on the bottom there, black lettering with the
Pumpkins. And now here's, I don't mean to interrupt, but we want to get Miss Junior America, Michelle Pearson, coming by. In July, she was crowned Miss Junior America City Queen for DeKalb. Will compete next year for the national title. Was crowned Tiny Stars America in 1985. She's 10 years old. Michelle Pearson.
Did you think that Tropical Tan was only for tanning? Well, think again. Tropical Tan in the Northland Plaza is now your headquarters for LA Gear and Panama Jack clothing. Not just t-shirts and sweats, but jeans, jackets, sweatshirts, along with aerobic workout gear. It's the best thing you'll ever see. All at Tropical Tan in the Northland Plaza. So stop in today. Make Tropical Tan your LA Gear and Panama Jack headquarters.
Now coming by, Medina Temple's Big Wheels. They're from Schaumburg. Now, Wally Thoreau came by on a big wheeler. Now we have about 12 of them on big wheelers doing routines in front of us here. Circles and figure eights weaving in and out. Some of these bikes are bigger than Wally's was.
They are, and they're green. Yes, they're green bicycles, and the Shriners themselves have burgundy hats and also
burgundy vests, yellow shirts,
and green pants, yellow socks.
green pedal pushers. These are pants that end about at the calf, so
That's
they don't
right.
get caught up in the spokes. They support the Shrine Hospitals that are 100% free to all children. They were first place at the Mendota Sweet Corn Fest, second place at the Itasca 100 Year Celebration, and you saw them on TV on the Say No to Drugs Parade of Chicago. That's Medina Temple's Big Wheels from Schaumburg.
Warmed up a little bit here, a couple of degrees actually. Temperatures up to 48 right now, and mostly sunny skies.
And the City of Endless Pumpkins being the theme. Here comes the City of Endless Opportunities. This is the Lucky Maples 4-H Club from Maple Park. Red Tractor drawing this float.
And it's a miniature city on the float, which is trimmed in green and black. And the members that are standing by the float waving are wearing actually clovers in front of them.
Shamrocks, some say
Shamrocks.
engine, computers, gardening, various career opportunities.
And it says 4-H ain't just cows and cooking.
And behind it, a couple of very small 4-Hers, 4-Hers, future builders.
Yes.
Mr. Crumb's Cookies invites you to stop in for the tastiest cookies you've ever had. Made from all natural ingredients, Mr. Crumb's offers a large selection of cookies, up to 20 different varieties, and Mr. Crumb's offers as many as 10 kinds of muffins, as well as brownies. Stop by Mr. Crumb's Cookies at 722 West Lincoln Highway in DeKalb, Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 9 p.m., and Saturday from 9 to 6. Happy Halloween from Mr. Crumb's Cookies, 722 West Lincoln Highway in DeKalb. Now, the region of never-ending soccer balls. This is a float sponsored by the ASYO, Region 118, supporters and contributors.
Giant soccer ball there. Cardboard soccer ball, actually.
With also, what's this? Go, go, go Eagles. And another banner with blue sharks. It's the Blue Sharks. Killer Oranges, the Green Slimers, the
They're dressed
Fighting
in green.
Irish. These are all
The Gladiators.
AYSO soccer teams. 900 players participate.
My goodness.
Starts the last Saturday in August, finishes the last week in October. Actually, it finished yesterday. And they'd like to thank businesses, service clubs, and United Way for providing support. Now from Aurora, West Aurora, the freshman band under the direction of Dick Harrison.
Dressed in blue and white.
Freshman, a very large music program at Aurora West, performing a three-point turn in front of us. Very precise, very well done. Blue and white with red piping down the pants, white spats, red and white overlay with Aurora West, or the letters AW. Aha.
Here's
Now,
our favorite man of all.
One of the most popular. From McDonald's, it's Ronald McDonald.
Yes. The famous red hair there.
Doing his bit, and we have children in costume on the float. Kind of, well, the float is shaped like the courtyard of a McDonald's.
Mm-hmm. Some French fries there, too. Hungry, Mark?
Oh, I'm always hungry. You ought to know that by now. And now, next up on the parade is the Sycamore High School cheerleaders, if I've got the right page turned here. And I do. A city of never-ending spirit.
And they're dressed in black and gold and white. Their sweaters are black with gold and white trim, skirts trimmed in the same colors, doing some cheers.
Andrea Hartman, the advisor, the Sycamore High School cheerleaders, of course, to promote school spirit at all athletic events.
And what do we have in front of us here?
This is a small motorcycle with a Cubs sidecar, big Cubs hat on top, pumpkins with Cubs hats, and a Bugs Bunny, and
skeleton riding inside, waving an orange flag. Fancy that.
Cub fan Jack White of Cortland, diehard Cubs fans who acquired a former Philippine taxi cab and decorated it for kids to play in. Another band coming up, Rod Thomas directing the Genoa Kingston High School Band. 50 members performing El Tigre Drado.
Color guards are dressed in orange flags.
Drum routine as the band goes around the corner. Drums in front, blue kind of jackets with collars, orange and white across the front in diagonal, and then orange sashes, orange striping down the pants, white shoes, blue hats. Pausing in front of the stand here. Genoa Kingston High School Band. Division winner, International Division winner, John Emberson, Chapter King of TOPS, number Illinois 553, meeting at the Sycamore Community Center and a city, TOPS headquarters. You are now leaving Sycamore, it says on the back of the float, the city of never-ending pumpkins.
Of course, that's the theme for this year's parade. And we have something very interesting coming up the street. It sounds, and it is, bagpipes.
The Medina Highlanders Regimental Bagpipe Band.
Let's give them a listen. Sorry.
Bagpipes are a most difficult instrument to play, and to master them while marching. They're wearing yellow and maroon and green tunics and kilts, maroon shirts with tall black-plumed hats. And now members of the Republican Party coming by with their candidates' banners and signs. Even a dog with various banners on a vest.
They've got him decorated. Here comes a big elephant up the street.
And it's Representative Lynn Martin, and a candidate for Senate.
That's right.
In the Pumpkin Fest Parade.
You say your hair is frightening? Well, then treat yourself to a bewitching hairstyle at the main event in downtown Sycamore. Susan and Belinda specialize in creative hair designs, cutting, custom perming, and coloring. The main event is located at the Sycamore Plaza, 407 West State. To reserve your time, call 895-7017. That's 895-7017.
Lynn Martin dressed in orange and black and riding the pickup truck that's pulling a float of a large elephant, which is, of course, the symbol of the Republican Party. And now Jim Edgar's contingent, and Jim Edgar coming by, candidate for governor. Coming by with his supporters, dressed mostly in blue also. John Countryman.
Trimmed in some white there. Carrying your little banners and signs.
A large number of flags and banners, a very colorful outing.
We want to talk about some pumpkin winners here for the Sycamore Lions 1990 pumpkin display. Now, specifically, a new record was set this year. Over 940 entries. And the old record is 933. And Matt Beckman this year had the pick of the patch in the weird, ugly, and scary category. And best organization here as far as house decorating goes. First place went to Ronald Feldman at 1618 Park here in Sycamore. And second place to R. Konleski at 715 West State. And third place went to Jay Sanders at 1530 Park.
Coming by also Greg Bays, the candidate for state treasurer, Sue Suter, John Huftelin for trustee of U of I, and coming by people for Nancy Beasley and Nancy Beasley. And as you can tell, as always, people will express their opinions.
That's right.
Parades when the political contestants come by. A large number of people turned out for the Republican Party of our area. And now the Nancy Beasley supporters for her candidacy for state senate, dressed in dark blue shirts of the campaign, all sporting banners and signs.
She's got enough banners behind her.
And looking down farther along the parade route, Brad Brzezinski and his supporters, or a number of his supporters, for his candidacy. A large turnout for the Republican Party this year. Cars for the town, cars for the country. You'll find a great selection of cars, trucks, and vans for both around the town and country driving at Town and Country Motors in Sycamore. Right now, Town and Country Motors has lots of one-owner cars, vans, trucks, and 4x4s. Also, remember, Town and Country Motors for your next car rental. Town and Country is also your U-Save rental headquarters for car, van, and truck rental with daily, weekly, and monthly low rental rates. Town and Country Motors is at 1625 DeKalb Avenue in Sycamore. Brad Brzezinski coming by with his family, and they're riding, I can't even remember, bicycles built for two.
Yes,
Tandem.
that's right.
That's the word.
A white tandem bicycle there.
Yeah. Coming by, he is, of course, the Republican candidate for state representative. And now, rounding up the Republican Party's portion of the parade, Sharon Holmes, county clerk and recorder.
State
and
Farm.
Red shirts and red t-shirts and sweatshirts.
Excuse me. State Farm is there. That's what State Farm policyholders tell their neighbors. Most car owners who go to State Farm agents are sent there by people they know. If you want to get a good car insurance value, ask a neighbor who's insured with State Farm. And like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. In Sycamore, see agents George Beasley and Bob Kiker at 112 Somonac Street.
And I don't mean to rush you, but let's listen to the Marengo High School Band under the direction of Bob Turk. They march with 140 performing Old Black Magic. Coming by, their flag corps dressed in white with maroon piping and silver vests, silver bandanas, and the band dressed smartly in white shirts with maroon sashes and maroon down the sleeves, black capes, black and white capes over the shoulders with maroon around the waist, maroon cummerbund-like, and black pants with maroon stripes.
It's amazing to me how they all keep time. They all are marching in step. You don't see anybody out of step at all. Looks like a couple of cars coming our way.
Autometer Products have brought some custom cars here. Also, Bigfoot. Well, not exactly Bigfoot, but it is very similar. There's some custom Chevrolets. There's some engines there that look like they could take the space shuttle off.
Looks like a Corvette.
That's a Corvette, but that is not exactly what Chevrolet put into it originally.
No, I didn't think
That's
so.
A blower and supercharger on these. Also a Ford Galaxy 500 with a supercharger and blower. The Vette's yellow, a couple of pickup trucks in maroon, a white Ford Galaxy, and there is Bigfoot Shuttle.
It's blue, an electric blue type color.
It's a Ford Aerostar that has been jacked up to about 4 feet off the ground underneath the truck.
Big tires, large tires.
Bigfoot Shuttle, another one of those cars you could use in a traffic jam. Just go over everybody.
Good things in the winter too when the snow drifts.
Coming up next, the Sweet Adelines. Now this float's going to take a little bit of
description.
Yes, the never-ending pumpkins of harmony. Of course, the Sweet Adelines, a chorus.
And they are dressed in the white sweatshirts with the pumpkins on front, black pants, and in the middle of the float is a rather large witch.
About a 10-foot tall witch, smiling though, luckily for us. A couple of cats in front. And this float is not being pulled. This
No,
is
it's not.
a self-contained float.
And the float itself is, the under part of it is orange, and then we have some gold spangles at the bottom of the float, and also some white ghosts on the float as well.
Side, it
on the
says,
side.
the Clark family presents the Never-Ending Pumpkins of Harmony, the Prairie Echoes Chorus Suite Adelines. And of course, their concert November 11th at the Egyptian Theater. I should say November 17th. Let me get that date correct. Now coming by, Edco.
And they have some trash on their float.
Promoting recycling,
That's right.
re-educating, reuse, and their float with pumpkins and corn stalks, and promoting the recycling of the trash that we put out.
There's Smokey the Bear waving to the crowd.
Smokey the Bear coming by with various costumed children, and now a large pumpkin. This is, and on the side it says Oaken Acres operates on pumpkins that will not die. Dr. Rehab Bear saves them. It's kind of a panda bear
Hospital
operating
type
on a
thing.
pumpkin. This is
Yes.
the Oaken Acres Wildlife Center. Another band coming up, and this is a band, well, let's listen for a while. This is probably the largest high school band here.
And the color guards in front of us are wearing red dresses with white fringe, and they're waving red, white, and blue flags.
This is the West Aurora High School band under the direction of George Michael.
Band members themselves dressed in blue with the white sashes, blue pants with red trim, and they're wearing red and white capes and red blue hats with red plumes on top there.
Very fine music program at West Aurora, and one of the teams that plays DeKalb regularly,
right.
as I remember.
Uh-huh.
Now coming by
Pumpkins.
from, this is Cloverville.
And all the participants riding on this float and standing at the side waving are dressed as pumpkins. Float itself has some pumpkins atop it, with a green floor there and trimmed in white as well, that float is. To make the best better theme of that float. Some interesting creatures coming up the street here.
This is from the Sycamore Lions Club. The lion, also the Cowardly Lion
Yeah, I was
from
going to
the
say,
Wizard
from
of
the
Oz.
Wizard of Oz. He's here too.
Also, old Ford, looks so mid-30s Ford, and a couple more lions. And now here, is this I'm trying to see, this is either a Stanley steamer or a Curved Dash Olds. Glen Dew. I believe that's it's the Olds. That's the Curved Dash Olds. A very old car, very well-known car to car buffs. 1915 Ford.
Jet black in color.
Sycamore Lions Club. And a bumper sticker that says, I may be old, but I'm still ahead of you. Munster High School marching band now under the direction of Ginger Douglas.
And they're from Indiana. As they come up the street here, their color guards very colorful indeed. Red tunics with white sashes around the middle, black and white skirts, white boots.
Let's listen to the band. almost dressed like Lives of the Bengal Lancers.
That's
or,
right.
You find almost a military style with a red coat with white sash and belt, black pants, white piping. And I have to admire their drum major because she has to march this entire parade backwards because she is conducting the band the whole way.
My goodness, takes some talent there. State Farm is there. That's what State Farm policyholders tell their neighbors. Most car owners who go to State Farm agents are sent there by people they know. If you want to get a good car insurance value, ask a neighbor who's insured with State Farm, and like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. In Sycamore, see State Farm agents George Beasley and Bob Kiker at 112 Sononock Street.
Coming up next, the Marmion Military Academy Band under the direction of Stephen Thurlow, 46 members performing Firebird.
Color guards dressed in black tunics with a red sash and blue pants. Band members themselves decked out in the military blue.
The Marmion Military Academy Band was the second place in the Wheaton Falcon Marching Band competition in percussion and brass, second place in the Burlington Invitational, and first place percussion in last year's Pumpkin Fest Parade. Now a float from St. Peter's Episcopal Church being pulled by a small lawn tractor. It's a city in bunting, in tissue, very colorful, about 12 feet tall on the float, lots of pumpkins and members of St. Peter's riding that float, and a very tiny Corvette with a
It's
tiny
a pink one.
driver.
Whoops!
Who just
Trying to run over some pedestrians
bumping
there.
into people, unfortunately.
This looks like an old-time ambulance here.
An old GMC ambulance that's sponsored by Blackhawk Moving and Storage. Dan Hemmingson. It's a 1949 GMC panel van with siren. Mr. Crumb's Cookies invites you to stop in for the tastiest cookies you've ever had. They're made from all natural ingredients. Mr. Crumb's offers a large selection of cookies, up to 20 different varieties, and Mr. Crumb's offers as many as 10 different kinds of, 20 different varieties of cookies, 10 kinds of muffins, as well as brownies. Stop by Mr. Crumb's Cookies at 722 West Lincoln Highway in DeKalb, Monday through Friday, 7 to 9, and Saturday from 9 to 6. Happy Halloween from Mr. Crumb's Cookies, 722 West Lincoln Highway in DeKalb. Denise?
Here comes another band. It's a Central High School Rockets band out of Burlington. And these members dressed in white and blue, black pants with white trim.
Gene Vanderbosch, the director. They march with 59 and the song Bravura. Something you don't see very often, a marching electric bass.
I was wondering what that was.
They have the
Pushing it
amplifier,
along.
battery powered, pushing along, bass player to give them a little bit extra. They only march with one tuba, so a little extra bass is needed.
Here come the Blazing Stars up the street here.
Blazing Star Association of the Girl Scouts of America. Coming by in their green outfits and also their sashes and vests with their various medals and merit badges. Troop 560.
And here comes some more Girl Scouts.
Girl Scouts and
More Girl
brownies, some with banners, the world of well-being, the world of people, all in uniform, some in Halloween costumes. There's a catcher There's one in a Bears outfit with a Jim McMahon-style headband.
There's a little, looks like
It
a
looks
ghost
like a
over there.
little girl in a native African dress, a cowgirl. More in their
sorts.
Girl Scout uniforms. There's a pirate.
Looks like Napoleon over there.
There's an astronaut.
Oh, yes.
NASA on her.
She's even carrying a helmet.
Here's some more with what look like smiling faces on their shirts, all carrying signs.
There's a witch.
There's a lion. There's a cat. There's some wearing bandanas, and there's some as cheerleaders coming by. These are all from various Girl Scout and Brownie troops in the area. There's some coming through all with placards with fish on them that they have drawn and put together.
And some more riding on a float here.
Troop
Decorated
561.
decorated with pumpkins. Pumpkins on a white background, and the members waving from the
Brownie
float.
Troop 149, Brownie Troop 708, as I can read, Troop number
546.
546, 538. Trying to read these numbers as they go by. Here's a float from 559 and 538. Girl Scouts, Brownies, there's a bale of hay, and some adult members dressed in older style Scout uniforms. Now, here's the Crete Moni High School Marching Warriors from Crete, Illinois, under the direction of someone I went to school with at Northern Illinois University, Paul Woodson.
Very energetic band. They're dressed in blue and white. Dark blue.
Now going into a halftime step. And as the brass comes in, they raise their instruments up to the sky. Very dramatic, very exciting. Very fine band program at Crete Moni High School in the direction of Paul Woodson.
Did you think that Tropical Tan was only for tanning? Well, think again. Tropical Tan in the Northland Plaza is now your headquarters for LA gear and Panama Jack clothing. Not just t-shirts and sweatshirts, but jeans, jackets, sweatshirts, along with aerobic workout gear. It's the best thing you'll ever see. All of Tropical Tan in the Northland Plaza, so stop in today. Make Tropical Tan your LA gear and Panama Jack headquarters.
Coming down now, we had the Republican Party, and due to equal access, of course, the Democratic Party is well represented here at the Pumpkin Fest Parade. Starting off with the candidate for governor of the Democratic Party, Mrs. Neil Hartigan, coming up to our stand here and ready to make the turn. A large red banner being held in front, and his supporters being dressed in red. Also, the mayor of DeKalb marching with him, Greg Sparrow. Neil Hartigan dressed in orange, appropriate for the day. There's Pat Welch, the candidate, and our current state senator. Robert Tisch, the candidate for state representative. Susan Johnson, representative, candidate for county clerk. Also, Chris Garrity, Joan McGann, Richard Schmock, Thomas Gary, Tom Elkins, Gene Heinsohn, and Trent Kramer, representatives, or I should say candidates for the county board. For other members of the Democratic Party, Roland Burris, Don Clark Netsch, all the various candidates well represented on the Democratic side.
Riding a float that says they're saluting the outstanding citizens of Sycamore.
By supporters of Susan Susan Johnson,
And another
county
band.
clerk. This is the Bloom High School Marching Band, the Marching Trojans from Chicago Heights, Illinois, under the direction of Roland Rose. Routine, flags and instruments all being moved in unison.
And they're dressed in electric blue and white. Costumes trimmed in white. Also a little silver in there too.
And they're wearing marching band style short hats, but some of them also dressed in blue berets.
The cheerleaders following with blue costumes, white trim, waving the blue and silver pom-poms.
Coming up now to the stand here in front of Paulson's Appliance, a float from Duplex Products.
More pumpkins holding the Duplex banner, a blue banner with the white Duplex emblem there, and an old-time Ford.
It's a Ford Woody, a real Woody, back when station wagons were trimmed in wood. Model T.
Many passengers could fit in that.
And a large pumpkin with pumpkin seeds going in and coming out the top.
On a conveyor belt. It's on a conveyor belt type.
Putting pumpkin seeds on a conveyor belt is a wizard. It goes into the pumpkin and out the top. Pumpkin balloons come flying out.
Very unique. Mentioning a couple of winners here in the pumpkin competition, in the carb competition for age 7 and under. In first place, we have Christy Melandra. Second place in the under 7 category, Dawn Carander. And also in third place, we have Leslie Diedrich. And then in the 8 to 9 category, first place goes to Katie Meyer. Second place, Aaron Thompson. And third place to John Carnaher. That's in the carved pumpkin category.
Coming up next, another marching band. This is from Dixon, Illinois, the Dixon High School Marching Dukes in their purple and white with gold capes.
And their color guard also waving flags, which are primarily white with the purple and the gold trim. Very colorful, as many of these bands are here today.
Again, the drum major marching backwards, conducting the band. Let's listen. The Dixon High School Marching Dukes, also their pom-pom squad, following in their white, gold, and purple skirts and sweaters. And now coming by, Oswego Park District baton twirlers in black sweatshirts, black tights with a kind of unusual kind of pearlescent design on the front of their
pink and blue.
Pink and blue with some silver. Now what have we? Clowns.
Clowns, lots of them. Well, 4 of them.
4 of them to be exact. Long orange spangled tie on one, some red and white polka dots, purple, yellow,
green and red.
Red hair.
Yellow hair.
Happy faces, sad faces on them, just coming around, waving to the children. Now here comes a clown in a small tow truck towing a smaller Jeep. This is from Lovett's. Owners Bill and Bev Lovett. A little toy tow truck pulling a pumpkin orange Jeep. And there is one smashed car. It's a smashed van on their float. Don't be a clown, stay alive, don't drink and drive is the theme, and an important one. Reed Custer Junior High Marching Band is coming up next. Chris Baer, the director.
And they are dressed in black predominantly with the gold trim on their skirts and also white. The hats are gold with a black stripe and a little white plume on top.
The rifle twirlers up first, followed by a flag squad with white flags with multicolored fire designs on the flags. Again, in predominantly black skirts with high collars, epaulets. Also white cross buckles across the front, some gold and white piping on the sleeves and across the front. Selection performed Firebird by Igor Stravinsky, and again a three-point turn in front of us, very well executed. It's a very crisp formation when done well, and all the bands that have attempted it have done very, very well with it. It makes for a very impressive 90-degree angle. Pumpkin Panthers on the move. It's a small cart with a pumpkin decorated as a panther in a cage. That's being pulled by some of the band boosters of Reed Custer Junior High.
We have another float coming around the corner here with a variety of creatures on it. We have looks like a chicken up there.
This is from the Genoa Chamber of Commerce. Chamber of Horrors. The House of Horrors. There's a super duck. Super duck.
Super duck is standing in front of the haunted house there.
They invite you to well, they're talking about the funds. There is a haunted house in Genoa, Monday through Wednesday. That's Halloween from 7 to 10. And members of the 4-H being pulled in a float, being pulled by two draft horses. Now coming up, a Caterpillar Challenger tractor.
I saw one of those out in the field the other day working.
This is a 65B. It's huge. It's got tank treads, that type of tractor, and
they do
very
use
impressive.
They do use it to plow, because I saw one the other day doing exactly that.
Very impressive piece of machinery. Now from Oswego, the Oswego High School Band, marching with...
themselves dressed in blue with blue skirts with orange trim and blue vests with orange trim as well.
Flag units, white with orange and blue flags. Very impressive routine as they come around the corner. Blue uniforms with orange and blue overlays, orange down the sleeves, hats with white plumes. That's the Oswego High School Marching Band. Milwaukee Medical Associates with the next float chairman John Klazowski. All four of them.
Yep.
And with stores drawn on it, these are stores you'll see in Sycamore. There's drawing of Little Ben's, wood shops, Scalawags, booze. Very, very attractive float from Kishwaukee, Meadosia. You say evening. Well, then all you have to do is treat yourself to a bewitching hairstyle at the main event in downtown Sycamore. Cinda Special located at the Sycamore Plaza. That's at 4 West State Street. To reserve your time, call 895-7017. Another band coming by. This is one of the smaller ones.
District 100 band.
This is the Pershing Junior High Band. Now they're dressed in blue blazers, black pants, and white turtlenecks. This is from Pershing Junior High School.
We have some cars zipping down the street here, some race cars, miniature ones, of course.
Also, 1990s Miss Illinois American finalist for the 1990 Miss Illinois in her royalty. There's a skunk driving a small car.
There is.
There's a skunk, there's a lion, there's a clown, all driving small cars. These are sponsored by Hardee's of Sycamore.
State Farm is there when you want a real value on your family insurance. State Farm offers a good price on car, home, life, and health insurance, but real value is more than that. It's a good agent and great claim service too, and like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. In Sycamore, see State Farm agents George Beasley and Bob Kiker at 112 Somonauk. A couple of more winners we want to mention from the pumpkins in the happy and fancy category. We have Seaver Madison, I should say, in the age 5 or under category. And in 6 to 7, first place winner John Ormond. Then in the 8 to 9 group in first place, Brooke Richardson, also Dylan and Gail Forston in the 10 to 11 age group. And in the 12 and over, Casey Kirschman. And that's in the happy and fancy category in the pumpkin designing contest there.
Another band coming up, as you can hear, the Dwight D. Eisenhower Junior High School Band. This is from District 61 of Darien, Illinois. John Larson, their director, playing a familiar march.
And the color guard in front of us here is dressed in red jackets with white shirts underneath. Their skirts are black with red trim.
Walking with State of Illinois flag, Pumpkin Fest Parade flag, also American flag, the flag of their community of Darien. Now, rifle twirlers executing some precision maneuvers.
And they have red vests with black pants, also white shirts underneath. Come the band members themselves, dressed in black with white shirts, red bow ties, and their black pants also have some red trim.
Marching in a little different formation, the woodwinds are in front in this band with the brass and percussion following up from behind. At the end of each rank of players, or I should say each other rank, are flag bearers with flags of the colors of the band, red, white, and black.
Clydesdale's coming by us right
From
now.
Big Tree Farm, the market, with pumpkins and a green wagon with white wheels, very, very clean, very shiny chrome, and also a couple of Clydesdales, sponsored by the Market Garden Supply. The Clydesdales have appeared in Seneca's 125th anniversary, Sandwich Freedom Days, Braidwood Summerfest, Morris Cornfest, Coal City Oktoberfest. I had the opportunity to get up next to some draft horses a couple of years ago. You see them in commercials, you see them from afar in parades. My wife is very much into horses, and we had a chance to go up and see some of these Clydesdales and that. You have no idea how big
they are
horses
large
until you actually stand next to one.
That's right. I've been around some large horses, not Clydesdales, but work horses, and you get up to next to them and you feel like a dwarf, and you think, don't move, don't step on my foot, because
and of course,
so large.
those Clydesdales are decked out in their full dress halters, black leather, silver trim, all shined and polished. Beautiful sight. Beautiful sight.
Cars for the town, cars for the country. You'll find a great selection of cars, trucks, and vans for both around the town and country driving at Town & Country Motors in Sycamore. Right now, Town & Country Motors is lots of one-owner cars, vans, trucks, and 4x4s. Also remember Town & Country Motors for your next car rental. Town & Country is also your You Save rental headquarters for car, van, and truck rental with daily, weekly, and monthly rates. Town & Country Motors, 1625 DeKalb Avenue, Sycamore.
The Glenbrook South High School Band, directors Pete Pappas and Greg Wojcik, 150 members strong, marching tonight on Bald Mountain.
And they are very colorfully dressed, too, in white and blue, navy blue. Gold trim on their jackets.
Very colorful flags. I should mention quickly before we listen, they've appeared in the Rose Bowl, Cotton Bowl, Fiesta Bowl, Orange Bowl, Aloha Bowl, Macy's Thanksgiving, Hollywood Christmas. This is their 16th appearance at the Pumpkin Fest Parade.
So they're hardly newcomers.
Glenbrook High School Band.
Sound great.
Coming up, a black Corvette. A black Corvette. And this is dressed up with pumpkins, and on it, riding in this book is, or I should say this float, is Donnie from the QRF Kids Club, WQRF, Channel 39. Henry's Pride and Joy, a 1928 Ford Model A coming up, and another marching band. This from the Springbrook South.
And the band is dressed in red and white. Well, actually, the flag bearers are carrying black, red, and white flags. Band members themselves are dressed in red blazers with white turtlenecks, black pants with red trim.
And following the band, the thank you banner from the Sycamore JCs, and Gene Paulson and Kathy Hunt holding that, and that brings us to the close of the Pumpkin Fest Parade, the 29th annual for 1990, and a rather exhausted Mark Charvat now coming towards us.
I got a good workout, Mark, I'll tell you.
I can tell you that. Were you keeping in step with the bands there?
Oh, indeed. It brings me memories of my high school days in marching band.
And now Mark will be going home to his large bag of Doritos, I'm sure.
They're waiting for
He
me.
has worked up an appetite this afternoon.
Also, I should mention Melissa Hahn was on one of the other microphones.
Oh, great.
Helping out with the audio over there.
Well, thank you, Melissa. And we also want to thank everybody else who provided us with the Pumpkin Parade information and our sponsors, G&L Auto Repair, Mr. Crumb's Cookies, the main event, also State Farm, along with Town and Country Motors. And a big thanks to all of our sponsors as well here on 1360 WLBK. Tropical Tan to one of our fine sponsors. And a thank you to you, Mark.
And thank you, Denise, and thank you to John Paulson for this vintage vantage point. Is that what I want to say? I want a perfect vantage point for the Pumpkin Fest Parade. It's a little bit after 3 o'clock, 49 degrees according to the clock across the street from us, and this is 1360 WLBK DeKalb Sycamore. That's it for the 1990 Pumpkin Parade, and I'll be talking to you tomorrow morning about 5:30.
Right, that's right. And I'll be talking to you tomorrow afternoon. I'm Denise Burgess, shortly after 3 o'clock tomorrow afternoon here on 1360 WLBK. And we invite you to join us for a Big Band Jump, which will be coming up from 4 until 6. And until the meantime, we'll have some big band sounds for you.
So, Gene, it's all yours.
Thanks to our engineer, Gene Bansimer, too.
Hey, well, thanks to everybody. It's been a pleasure listening to all of you. A lot of phone calls during the parade today, and I just want to thank all of you who called in and checked up on me, see how I was doing here listening to the parade. We certainly did enjoy it. It was a beautiful day, wasn't it? Your weather forecast for tonight, clear and cold with a low around 32. And then tomorrow, you can expect sunny skies, windy and warmer with a high of 62. Right now in the DeKalb Sycamore area, it's 46. Let's go back into the big band. Tangerine, 1360 WLBK.